Hello everyone, Mr. Storkin here, and today, I can't believe it, today actually is the day of the final season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I thought, let's celebrate this. I celebrated last week with ranking all the villains. I'm going to do it this week by ranking all the seasons. Now, I have my personal favorites, and Season 7 has not quite yet ended yet. Unless this ends, I will let you know in the comment section below if this still is the fact or not, or I'll upload something relatively soon saying, hey, it's still intact. Anyway, let's get to it by ranking some of the seasons, and I really don't like this ranking system because I hold every season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. close to my heart because I just love them all. I really did. But I want to start off with the best of the best, and if you know me, the best of the best seasons are pretty obvious amongst all 7. All seasons are great, but there are 2 that definitely stand out, definitely the best. Everyone has their favorite season. These are the 2 seasons that me and my friend always debate about which one is the better one. And to be honest, we both have some really good points. He has a really good point about this season, but I've always agreed this season is a bit better based on how much it was able to improve the show. So, regarding that, I'm giving you yes ranking, and I'm leaving it up to you. So yes, Season 2 and Season 4 are the best seasons of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is odd because the 2 seasons are really great. The reason I say this is because after Season 1 was kind of meh, so if I have to be honest, B is the lowest ranking anything's going to go at this point. After that, I'll rank it in between, because Season 1 was kind of slow. It was kind of building up to something, and I don't think people were expecting that, and I concur. I kind of stopped watching it halfway through originally, but then my friend said, like, you need to watch it. It's really good. And so I just binge watched it. It's like, wow, I should not have slept on the show, and I felt like, and I liked it, and I was like, wow, and I'm expecting more from it, and that's what Season 2 I felt offered. Season 4 is I feel like, oh man, here you go, and it's like, oh my gosh, I generally love it, and it was just like, wow, that is downright phenomenal. I felt the whole way through Season 2, and I was like, wow, it's all the way great. And the reason I felt that was true was especially in Season 4, because Season 4 had the arc system, which works phenomenally. I think they kind of carried it on a bit. A lot of people underestimate. Definitely Season 5 had the arc system, but not as well as Season 4 did, where they promoted the arc system. The other ones are kind of like self-contained stories, which works because they're short episodes. But more on that later. But I think Season 4 definitely used the arc system well because each one kind of built on top of each other. It wasn't like, hey, this storyline is pointing this or what this is happening. They had a straight goal from beginning to end for each arc and where it needed to go in terms of the grander story, which I can always appreciate, to be honest. So that's my opinion on that. If you were like, hey, what's your opinion on that? I was like, this is my opinion on that. The more you know. In regards to that, I actually have another season I'd like to throw up on the ass because I think this is also, based off the moment, it's the best season ever. It's really great. I just generally loved every episode, and I was generally surprised by each episode. I loved each episode so far, and that's Season 7. Season 7 is downright phenomenal. You know you have a problem already when 3 of the 7 seasons. It's not like Arrow, where I think Arrow can be divided down the middle. I think Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., all of them are good, except for Season 1, because Season 1 is definitely the outlier among them. But it's like, of them, they're really good. And I can't really put Season 7 in a ranking. Normally I'd be like, oh, this season's better than this season. It's like, well, I can't put that one necessarily in a ranking. It's just really good, based on everything they've done and the storyline they're building up to. The time travel aspect, great. Best use of the time travel I've seen in this TV show recently. That's pointing at you, Legends of Tomorrow. That just proves how well you're not working out things at the moment. Anyway, that was a weird tangent. I feel like the storylines are great. I feel like it's a lot more fun. I think Legends does have that fun. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. does it a lot better, which is odd. Because they're not focused on time travel, but that it's because it's like, well, then they get to have more fun. I like seeing all these old Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. characters and references to stuff in the MCU, and based on how they screw up the timeline, it makes sense. Legend doesn't really utilize the manipulation of the timeline, whereas Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. kind of focus on it because it's like there's things. They're not the ones screwing up the past. That's the problem. I feel like there's a separation there in that Legends, they screw up the past. They intentionally screw up the past. They're like, we're changing history for the better. It's like, you don't have the power to do that. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they had to preserve the past. And that was a problem in episode 2. It was like, okay, get over this hurdle because you need to get over it quickly. And then it was kind of just them reacting to what had changed, and they were trying to set things back, which is what Legends should be doing. They shouldn't be like, we're going to change history for the better. Whoa. Horrible. Just downright bad writing on that regard. Also, I feel like Nathaniel's a really good villain. I really hope they don't. I know they're like, oh, well, Sybil's manipulating him. I was like, I really. And Cora is also a great villain. Going into the finale, there are 3 main threats, which I just generally love. I don't hate any of them. I generally just love them. I never hated the main villain, to be honest. I didn't like Garrett as much, but that's because of stuff. I will give. In Agents of Shield season 2 did change things. They introduced Inhumans. Season 4 is great because of Ada. Ada is one of the best villains in the show. I mean, oh boy, she's the best villain. And just seeing her evolve and the storyline evolve, great too. I was a bit concerned about what they were going to do in Ghost Rider originally, and what they were doing in Patriot, but they really gave those storylines the story they needed. And I felt like adding Patriot to Agents of Shield was good. It was, in my opinion, the I call it the Marvel phase where they're just like trying to be, trying to implement Marvel characters. It was the second to last. Season 5 definitely did that with Graviton, where they're kind of just like, we're going to do our own thing that's in the Marvel universe. We're not really going to use Marvel characters as much. Which worked for Ada, but they made her Madam Hydra, which was awesome. I love Mallory Jensen as Ada. I don't really care for everyone else, but she's great as Ada. I'm on here like, get to the other seasons. Okay. They're all B rank, A rankings. Even that season. You're like, what? The reason I praise season 6 for all it's worth. Actually, I think this would make my list if I'm being honest. I did not hate season 6. I really liked the continued story. It's just I didn't really ultimately care about it. Yeah, the villain's plan wasn't the best, but I did like the season because it's always great to see these characters, and it would prove that a self-contained story worked. I liked some stories. I especially liked Fitzsimmons. That stuff was really good. Season 3. Hive was great. There's a lot of suspense. The introductions that they made of characters like with Yo-Yo and just great, and the way their characters just kind of evolved in season 3 was great. And Fitzsimmons finally happened. They didn't marry till season 5, which did they? Anyway, I felt like Hive was a great villain, but overall, I felt like it was not as good as season 2 at the time, and I felt like carrying it through, and I kept being like, that's kind of the middle mark of where the show could be, and I'd say it's on equal pars with season 5, except for season 5 had some really great episodes. They had some really heartwarming episodes. I generally liked the one where Fitz was kind of going crazy, like he didn't know if he could trust his own mind, which I kind of liked, and he couldn't, and his necessary evil decision. I felt like that was a better decision. I felt like there was an end game in that one where I felt like in Agents of Shield season 3 there wasn't really a conclusion. Well, they did have the Secret Warriors. It wasn't utilized. I remember them promoting it a lot. But they also had Lash. They had Hive, and this was kind of the season where they killed Hydra. But even though Hydra didn't officially end until season 5. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about them killing off Hydra based off the timeline. It looks like Hydra exists no matter what. I'm doing this weird thing with my mouth because like it kind of happens whether or not because they're screwing up the timeline. But anyway, it's still a fun experience overall. It's not a horrible experience. So yeah, season 2 and season 4 and season 7 are the best seasons. Oh man, I can't decide at the moment because they're so great. I guess I could go more in depth about season 5, but just because season 5 was really good. I guess I could go into season 6, why I put it there, but when it's like, it's kind of just happens, and some of the storylines don't really come to a conclusion. Look, I beg you to tell me what happened to Snowflake. Nothing. I like the idea with Stars. I didn't really care for Izel as a villain. Again, they were good episodes. Like, I think the Fitzsimmons episode was probably the better one. I generally like Deke. That's probably one of the best introductions in season 5. Yeah, this is what the show does. The show does a great job of introducing new characters in their seasons that can be long-lasting characters. Season 2 added Bobby and Hunter. Great characters. Generally love them. They stayed in for 2 years. It's great. Oh, and also Mac. Mac came into that season, which Mac was great too. So that's 3. 4 implemented. See, everyone felt like they were a natural part of the cast. Like even the guy Mace. Jason O'Mara, who played Patriot, he was great. The guy who played Ada, the actress who played Ada was great. The guy who played Ghost Rider was great. The guy who played Dr. Radcliffe was great. Everyone felt like they were a nice addition, especially season 7 where they add Sousa to the team, which is he just felt like he worked. And I think that's one thing I need to praise about the show is everyone feels like they have chemistry and there's no friction amongst the cast members. I can't say that for every show because definitely in some shows I can feel some friction between cast members, and to bring up Legends of Tomorrow, it feels like there's a friction with some of the comedy routines, especially with Sarah. Like there's no chemistry between them, and I don't feel chemistry between them, but I do feel chemistry for everyone in Agents of Shield. Season 5, I had Deke. I love Deke. A lot of people didn't. I praised the character, and I told my friends, like, I think Deke's a really great addition, and he's like, I hate Deke. I hate him. And I can understand that. He was kind of, they're fighting his character in that season, but I generally did like him. Even the actor, I think, knows that people didn't really necessarily like him at the beginning, but I did. I thought he was a nice addition, and it's like, okay, I want to see where this character can go, and I generally like Deke. Season 3, introduced Yo-Yo. Add Inkling and Lincoln. I think they shouldn't have killed off Lincoln. That's just because of I felt like he could have been a nice character if we built him up. But at the same time, it's a built-up character that was. I'm glad it didn't just go for the cheap throws of being like, we're introducing a new character just to kill him off. And building up Lincoln, especially season 2, I don't think anyone really saw Lincoln coming. The main theory was Fitz or the whole thing was either Fitz or May, which is interesting. Season 6, I didn't really anyone knew. I didn't really care for Sarge and I felt there could have been more chemistry there. Season 1, they were finding their chemistry, but it was definitely earned really quickly, and because of that, it's just like, wow. I do hope Nick Fury does appear in tonight's episode. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed my look at all the seasons of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I generally love this series, and it's sad to see it go today. I will be posting my review of the final season tomorrow. A review early for you guys because I love this show, and I don't want to be cruel and wait to talk about it on Friday or so forth. Anyway, bye-bye.